Welcome to Trending Update USA. I am your anchor Steffan, bringing you the biggest stories from the world of tennis, culture, and sporting legacy. Today we dive into a statement that has ignited the tennis universe. Coco Gauff standing firm on who she believes owns the throne of greatest women's tennis player ever. And she's not budging. According to Gauff, the debate ends and begins with Serena Williams. Not Steffi Graf. Not Evert. Not Martina Navratilova. The young American superstar has made her position crystal clear. Serena isn't one of the greatest. She is the greatest. Period. That declaration didn't just land, it exploded like a shockwave across social media, press rows, locker rooms, and dinner tables where tennis fans live and breathe these arguments. But unlike many athletes who tiptoe around historical comparisons to avoid controversy, Gauff stepped directly into the fire, with a level of conviction that echoed the fierce loyalty of someone who not only idolized a legend but saw her redefine possibility in real time. Coco Gauff grew up watching tennis in a world where Serena Williams was not just a champion but a cultural phenomenon, a force who transcended the baseline and shifted society's understanding of dominance, black excellence, longevity, athletic motherhood, business empires, and unapologetic greatness. And Gauff believes that when someone does that, when someone controls their sport while also reshaping the world around it, numbers and statistics only tell part of the story. The tale is larger. The impact is wider. The gravity is heavier. For context, Serena Williams ended her career with 23 Grand Slam singles titles, the most in the Open era, and just one behind Margaret Court's all-time record of 24. But while titles form the spine of the GOAT debate, Serena's legacy bleeds beyond hardware. The power serve, the athleticism, the resilience, the comebacks, the reinventions, the aura of intimidation that left even top-ranked opponents mentally shrinking before the coin toss, that psychological supremacy alone was historically unique. Steffi Graf, the German icon, completed tennis's elusive Golden Slam in 1988. Winning all 4 majors plus Olympic gold, finishing with 22 Grand Slam titles and spending 377 total weeks at world number 1, a staggering record that still towers above all others. Evert, the American ice queen of consistency, won 18 major singles titles and famously finished 7 seasons ranked world number 1, becoming the human standard for mental stability under pressure. Martina Navratilova, the Czech-born lefty genius, collected 18 major singles titles too and dominated doubles/history with 31 major women's doubles championships and 10 mixed doubles titles, shaping her into arguably the most complete all-surface and multidimensional tennis player ever forged. But despite these titans towering through history like granite monuments, Coco Gauff holds a different evaluation formula. Coco is 20 years old, and for her generation, tennis was experienced through megapixels, shared tributes, behind-the-scenes documentaries, Vogue covers, gender equality debates, body-positive narratives, venture capital headlines and global cultural identity shifts, a generation where the court was a platform, not merely a battlefield. And Serena commanded that platform like a queen wearing 6-inch armor. Gauff cited a personal reasoning that many shrugged off initially as fan nostalgia but is now being dissected as a philosophical approach. She argues that Serena faced deeper competition across multiple generations without losing dominance. Graf faced an incredible field but largely controlled one primary era. Evert defined consistency but didn't shift the physical DNA or power expectations of the sport. Navratilova was a complete marvel but didn't carry the same combination of singles dominance, cultural momentum, and modern media omnipotence. Serena played tennis in eras where she duet-battled Venus, Hingis, Davenport, Capriati, the rise of Henin, Clijsters, Sharapova, Azarenka, and later conquests through Kerber, Muguruza, Osaka, Halep, and even today's youngest threats who grew up wanting to be her. That's evolution-level competition across eras. And Serena, according to Gauff, wasn't merely surviving evolution. She was commanding it. Coco Gauff also pointed to psychological warfare. Throughout tennis history, intimidation mattered, but not like Serena intimidation. Players historically feared crashes. They feared surfaces. They feared crowds. Opponents feared Serena herself. The opponent was Serena. The surface was Serena. The crowd was Serena. The energy field around the stadium was shaped by Serena. If tennis had a psychological weather system, Serena Williams was the climate, not the forecast. Gauff is now being praised by some analysts for offering a rare athlete-driven argument that balances data with cultural magnitude. This isn't a disrespect to Graf, Evert, or Navratilova. It's a reminder that greatness can't always be boxed into historical symmetry. Sometimes greatness breaks the box, signs its autograph, builds a company from it, then uses it as a stepping stone. Coco Gauff is uniquely positioned in this debate, not just because she is one of America's brightest modern tennis stars, but because she represents the Serena generation, the generation who didn't just watch her win, but saw her shatter the sport's silhouette. But predictably, the tennis archives surged back. Stats enthusiasts immediately fired salvos defending Graf's Golden Slam, Evert's unmatched win percentage on clay, Navratilova's monstrous surface versatility, and Evert/Navratilova's rivalry longevity that spanned over 80 matches, still the most played major rivalry in tennis history. Critics also argued that Serena never completed a calendar slam, while Graf did so in 1988. But Gauff anticipated these counterpoints. She didn't backpedal. Instead, she reframed the argument. Serena didn't need to win the sport once. She needed to own its gravity for decades. And she did. Even retired player commentators weighed in. Some agreed. Some offered nuance. But the most powerful subplot here is not the tennis debate itself, it's Coco Gauff refusing to dilute her voice. In tennis history, icons are debated. In modern tennis, icons are defended by inheritors. Gauff positioned herself not just as a champion in training but as a legacy witness. Social media erupted in polarization. Instagram polls lit up. Serena tribute reels began trending again. Serena's most iconic moments: Australian Open 2017 pregnancy title, US Open crowd energy, Wimbledon supremacy, ace after ace after ace on championship point, the evolution of tennis fashion and representation and marketing control, were being reshared faster than baseline winners in a finals tiebreak. Meanwhile, tennis historians reminded younger fans that Graf's forehand slice was tactical artistry, that Evert's backhand was so reliable it could sign checks, and that Navratilova's net game was the scenic masterclass that built doubles strategy forever. But the Gauff audience answered back, not with disagreement, but with generational difference. They recognized the history. They lived the Serena shift. Coco Gauff eventually posted more follow-up clarifications. Not corrections, clarifications. She expressed reverence for the legends mentioned, calling them historic architects of women's tennis, but she reinforced that her evaluation considers mental dominance, physical superiority across evolving competition formats, cultural boundary breaking, media age triumph, influence beyond records, motherhood era excellence, injury comebacks, psychological intimidation, global recognition, and inspirational inheritance. A blend that only Serena Williams owned in one body, in one career, in one cultural timeline. Gauff believes Serena carried the sport, expanded the sport, monetized the sport, diversified the sport's audience, redefined the sport's training expectations, rewrote the sport's intimidation blueprint, owned media across multiple decades, and remained dominant while tennis itself grew physically stronger and tactically denser, an impact equation that for her mathematically ends the debate even before the syntax begins. The tennis universe respects Steffi Graf. The tennis universe respects Chris Evert. The tennis universe respects Martina Navratilova. But Coco Gauff respects them historically, while believing Serena Williams shifted history itself. In sporting legacy, eras define their GOATs. But sometimes singularity-level athletes define the eras. And according to Gauff, Serena Williams didn't simply win her era. She architected it. Fans are now watching to see how this shapes Gauff's own career narrative. She has long cited Serena Williams as an inspiration, but this moment marks the shift from admiration to legacy defense. It tells us something powerful about modern athletes. They don't just want to win. They want to inherit meaning. And Gauff inherited Serena meaning. The final takeaway here is not which legend was statistically stronger, tactically sharper, or historically more complete. It's a young champion who refuses to lie about her heroes, even if that truth shakes historical debates. Coco Gauff does not speak with hesitation, she speaks with inheritance. And that is the real cultural rally behind this headline. The tennis court crowns champions. Culture crowns icons. But legacy crowns successors who are brave enough to defend truth over neutrality. And today, Gauff defended truth.